I'm not worried about no fans. I'm worried about what he do in the football field. Like, that's one of the reasons we have film reviews. I think sometimes they get mad because his fan base is going to support him and say what they're going to say. Well, if you don't agree with that, stand on business.
What Jimmy Haslam just pulled off has never been done in NFL history. And right now, there are 31 other NFL owners sitting in their luxury boxes, doing the math on their napkins and realizing they got played. We're talking about a 5th-round pick, a player the entire league passed on not once, not twice, but 143 times, a quarterback that so-called experts said wasn't ready for the NFL. A young man the media tried to bury before he even took his first professional snap. And now, that same player is the #1 selling jersey in the entire NFL, top 3 in worldwide Google searches. He's got grown men in Dubai crying on camera because they finally got their hands on a #12 Cleveland Browns jersey.
Find me. One of the biggest things, that most humbling things in the world, is to be on a platform where you have people who are Eagles fans, Cardinals fans, Steelers fans, Ravens fans, Cowboys fans, 49ers fans, Dolphins. And these are people that pay attention to other teams.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Haslam, the billionaire owner of the Cleveland Browns, is sitting back, counting jersey sales, watching ticket applications pour in, and laughing all the way to the bank. This isn't just a football story anymore. This is a billion-dollar business disruption. And the NFL executives who didn't see it coming, they're scrambling, they're panicking, and they have every reason to be. Let me break down exactly how one owner just became the smartest businessman in professional sports, and why Shedeur Sanders is about to make the Cleveland Browns the most valuable franchise in America. First, let's talk about numbers. Real numbers. Not speculation, not hot takes, not opinion pieces from analysts who never played a down in their lives. Facts. Shedeur Sanders makes approximately $500,000 a year. That's his rookie contract as a 5th-round pick. $500,000 in a league where quarterbacks are making $50, $60, $70 million a year. Shedeur is making pocket change. Now you know who else is on the Browns' payroll. Deshaun Watson. $80 million guaranteed. That's not a typo. $80 million. Do the math real quick. Watson costs 160 times more than Shedeur Sanders. 160 times. And here's the kicker. While Deshaun Watson has been dealing with injuries, suspensions, and all kinds of off-field drama, Shedeur Sanders has been quietly doing something nobody expected. He's been winning. He's been producing. He's been throwing for 360 yards in games where his own coaching staff seemed to be working against him. But we'll get to that sabotage in a minute. First, let me tell you what happened behind closed doors that changed everything. Jimmy Haslam met with reporters recently and addressed the decision to draft Shedeur with the 144th pick, one day after they had already drafted Dillon Gabriel in round 3, and what he said should make every football fan sit up and pay attention. Haslam admitted that if you told him on Friday night, driving home from the draft, that they were going to pick Shedeur Sanders, he would have said that's not happening. Those are his words. That's not happening. But then something changed. There were 2 meetings, 2 critical conversations that altered the trajectory of the entire franchise. The first meeting happened before round 4. The second meeting happened after round 4. And insiders believe those meetings centered around one question. What do we do if Shedeur Sanders is still available at pick 144? Think about that. The entire league had passed on him. 143 picks went by. Quarterbacks with less talent, less charisma, and far less marketability were snatched up, and Shedeur just kept falling. Some people call that disrespect. I call it divine positioning, because Jimmy Haslam didn't just get a quarterback when he drafted Shedeur Sanders. He got a global...
Because like I said, what matters to Shedeur Sanders and what it is going to keep him on the field is how he play. But in terms of the stuff that you ingest and the stuff that you read and write, the Bible talks about renewing your mind all the time. If you stay in a specific place and you hear a bunch of stuff, it's going to rub off on you, bro.
Phenomenon. He got a marketing empire wrapped in a football jersey. He got the single greatest business asset in NFL history, and it cost him practically nothing. Let me show you just how big this thing is. Jersey sales. Shedeur Sanders is currently the #1 selling jersey among all NFL rookies, not just rookies on his team, all rookies in the entire league. He's outranking players who were drafted in the first round, players who got way more money, way more hype, way more love from the media. None of that mattered. The people spoke with their wallets and they chose Shedeur. Google searches. This man is top 3 in worldwide searches. We're not talking about in Cleveland. We're not talking about in the United States. We're talking globally. People in countries that don't even have football leagues are Googling Shedeur Sanders like he's a member of their family. And the jersey reactions. Man, the jersey reactions are something else entirely. There's video footage circulating online of people from every corner of the planet losing their minds when they get their hands on a Shedeur Sanders jersey. We're talking Memphis, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Charlotte, North Carolina, but it doesn't stop there. The Netherlands, the Philippines, Iceland, London, Ireland, Brazil, Mexico City, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Dubai, Jamaica, Germany, China. Grown men with 9-to-5 jobs, regular people who have never set foot in Cleveland, are crying on camera when they open a package and see that number 12 jersey. One analyst broke it down perfectly. He said this is some Elvis stuff. This is some Michael Jackson stuff. This is some Beyoncé stuff. These are adults with bills to pay, acting like they just met their hero. And he's absolutely right. When's the last time you saw anybody react like that to a Trevor Lawrence jersey? When's the last time you saw someone in Dubai crying because they got a Baker Mayfield jersey? When's the last time fans in Ghana were singing songs about Lamar Jackson? It doesn't happen. It has never happened. Not at this scale, not with this intensity, but with Shedeur. It's happening every single day, and that brings us to what really has the NFL shook: the money. Jimmy Haslam is a billionaire businessman. He didn't get rich by making emotional decisions. He got rich by seeing opportunities that other people missed and capitalizing on them before anyone else caught on. And right now, Haslam is looking at something that would make any CEO drool. For approximately $2 million total over 4 years, he's getting the #1 jersey sales in the NFL, top 3 global Google searches, viral social media moments generating billions of impressions, a fanbase that stretches from Cleveland to Dubai, celebrity endorsements from NBA legends, rappers, and actors, and a quarterback who can actually play at a high level. $2 million. That's the total cost of Shedeur's rookie deal. Compare that to what other teams are paying for first-round quarterbacks: $30 to $40 million guaranteed minimum, and there's absolutely no guarantee those players will be better than Shedeur. No guarantee they'll have his marketability. No guarantee they'll move merchandise. One insider put it perfectly. He said, imagine you're a business owner. You've got cheap labor. You've got a product the entire world can't get enough of. And you have that product under control at a discounted rate for 4 years. Why would you ever trade, cut, or get rid of something like that? The answer is you wouldn't, not if you're thinking like a businessman. And Jimmy Haslam is definitely thinking like a businessman. Let's talk about what happens in 2029. The Browns are opening a brand new stadium. And if you don't understand how stadiums make money, let me break it down for you real quick. PSLs, personal seat licenses. These are what rich people pay, sometimes 6 figures, just for the right to buy season tickets. They're not paying for the tickets themselves. They're paying for the privilege of being able to purchase tickets. And you know what drives PSL sales more than anything else? Star power. Winning helps, sure, but star power is what fills seats. Star power is what makes people open their checkbooks and write numbers with a lot of zeros. Now ask yourself this question. Do you think Fernando Mendoza fills a 100,000-seat stadium? Do you think Dante Moore has fans in Dubai tracking his jersey shipments? Do you think any other quarterback in recent draft classes has even a fraction of Shedeur's global appeal? The answer is obvious, and Jimmy Haslam knows it. The timing here is almost too perfect. Shedeur's rookie deal runs 4 years. The new stadium opens in year 4. That means by the time Cleveland cuts the ribbon on their billion-dollar facility, Shedeur Sanders will be entering his prime. His rookie deal will be expiring, and every seat in that building will be sold out because of one man. That's not luck, that's strategy. But here's where we need to address something that's been bothering a lot of people: the hate, because the media has spent months trying to tear Shedeur Sanders down. They said he can't play in the NFL. They said he's not ready. They weaponized his pinky injury. They pushed narratives about drafting Fernando Mendoza. They did everything in their power to create doubt. And when they couldn't break him with words, it seems like certain people tried to break him on the field. Chase Daniel, the former NFL quarterback and current analyst, watched the film and said something that should make everyone pay attention. He said the Browns in general just didn't really help Shedeur out a lot. Now, why is that significant? Chase Daniel isn't part of the Shedeur Sanders movement. He's not following Coach Prime on social media. He's not invested in Colorado football or the Sanders family brand. He's just a guy who watches film and calls it like he sees it. And what he saw was a young quarterback being set up to fail and still succeeding anyway. Daniel even broke down specific plays, showing how Shedeur made the exact same blocking plays that got Drake May praised to the heavens by the same analysts. The same exact play, but when Drake May does it, the media calls it leadership and grit. When Shedeur does it, crickets, complete silence. There was even a situation where Shedeur reportedly had wrong plays in his wristband. Wrong plays. And you know what he did after the game? He stood at that podium and took accountability. He didn't throw his coaches under the bus. He didn't make excuses. He handled it like a professional. And that's when someone like Dwyane Wade had to speak up. Dwyane Wade, three-time NBA champion, Finals MVP, close personal friend of LeBron James, one of the greatest shooting guards in basketball history. He got on camera and said he loves watching Shedeur in press conferences. He loves how Shedeur handles himself. He loves how Shedeur stands up for himself without tearing anyone else down. He loves how Shedeur is a leader. And here's what makes that even more powerful. The analyst who shared that clip made an incredible observation. He said this is a Hall of Fame basketball player who won championships with LeBron James, and he's never heard Wade get that emotional about LeBron. Let that sink in. A man who has experienced the highest levels of athletic success, who has been around greatness his entire career, is moved to emotion by a rookie quarterback on the Cleveland Browns. That's not normal. That's not hype. That's something real. And it explains why the global reaction to Shedeur Sanders has been so unprecedented. This isn't just about football. It's about representation. It's about a young black quarterback who refused to be broken by a system that seemed designed to sabotage him. People around the world see themselves in Shedeur. They see someone who was told he wasn't good enough, someone who fell to the 5th round when lesser talents got picked ahead of him, someone who got benched for Dylan Gabriel despite outperforming him, and someone who still rose to the occasion when given a chance. That's the underdog story everyone loves. That's the American dream playing out in real time. And Jimmy Haslam is smart enough to recognize it and cash in on it. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Deshaun Watson. Mary Kay Cabot, the most connected Browns insider in the business, has confirmed that Watson isn't going anywhere in 2026. The cap hit is simply too severe. If you cut him, you eat $80 million. If you trade him, you still absorb most of that contract. So Watson is staying. And honestly, that might be the perfect situation. Think about how other successful franchises have handled quarterback transitions. The Packers had Brett Favre mentor Aaron Rodgers. The Chiefs had Alex Smith mentor Patrick Mahomes. You bring the young guy along slowly while the veteran provides insurance and guidance. That's exactly what the Browns have now. Watson becomes the veteran's safety net. If Shedeur needs rest for that pinky injury, Watson can step in. If they want to ease Shedeur into a tough road game, Watson is there. And here's what makes it even better. By all accounts, Watson and Shedeur have a good relationship. There's no beef, no drama. They've been seen on the sidelines together, with Watson coaching Shedeur up during games. They show mutual respect, and that makes sense when you think about it. They're both young black quarterbacks who have dealt with media scrutiny, unfair criticism, and people rooting for them to fail. They understand each other. So now you've got an $80 million backup who can mentor your franchise quarterback. You've got Dylan Gabriel as a serviceable third stringer for the scout team. And you've got Shedeur Sanders as your billion-dollar marketing asset on a discount contract. That's not just smart. That's genius-level roster construction. Let me paint you a picture of what 2029 looks like. The Browns' new stadium opens its doors, 100,000 seats, every single one of them sold out through PSL commitments years in advance. Shedeur Sanders is in year 4 of his rookie deal, playing at an all-pro level. Browns games are must-watch television across the globe. Merchandise sales are through the roof. Sponsorship deals are rolling in from companies who want their brand associated with the most popular athlete on the planet. And Jimmy Haslam, he's being called the new Jerry Jones, the owner who built a billion-dollar empire around a 5th-round pick. Meanwhile, Fernando Mendoza is fighting for a backup job somewhere. Dante Moore is bouncing between practice squads, and all those media talking heads who spent months trying to bury Shedeur Sanders. They're scrambling to revise their takes, acting like they supported him all along. The receipts are saved. The internet never forgets, and the movement keeps growing. Look, I understand if some of you still have doubts. I understand if you think this is all hype and no substance. But I'm giving you facts that can't be disputed. Jersey sales don't lie. Google Trends don't lie. Viral videos of grown adults in countries across the world crying over number 12 Browns jerseys don't lie. Shedeur Sanders is the real deal on the field and off it. He's got the talent, the charisma, the work ethic, and the global appeal that money simply cannot buy. And Jimmy Haslam, love him or hate him, just made the smartest business decision of his ownership tenure by recognizing that before anyone else did. So the question isn't whether Shedeur Sanders will be the Cleveland Browns franchise quarterback in 2026. That decision has already been made. The tea leaves have been clear for months if you were paying attention. The real question is how much money is Jimmy Haslam about to make off this young man's name and talent? And based on everything we're seeing, based on the global phenomenon that's unfolding in real time, based on the unprecedented jersey sales and the viral moments and the celebrity endorsements, we're talking billions. Not millions, billions. The movement is global. The phenomenon is real. And the Cleveland Browns just became the most interesting team in professional football. 31 other owners are watching right now, wishing they had been smart enough to make this move first. But they weren't. They passed on Shedeur Sanders 143 times, and now they have to live with that decision while Jimmy Haslam builds an empire. This story is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started. And every single week, as Shedeur continues to prove the doubters wrong, as the jersey sales keep climbing, as the global fanbase keeps expanding, this thing is going to get even bigger. Cleveland has a new identity, the Browns have a new future, and the NFL will never be the same. That's not an exaggeration. That's just the truth that some people aren't ready to accept yet. But they will. Give it time, they will.